Factory, Cheesecake Factory. Jesus. Oh my, it's sunny outside. Do you want to be on the vlog?
No.
Huh?
Nope.
He said no. But he looks awfully cute today. Can I show your shoes? Here's these. Were those Gallianos?
Yeah.
That's what they are. We were talking about all kinds of fun stuff like taxes. Taxes. Now where to? Where to?
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to the bookstore. And that's about it. I didn't have to park out this far. I think I'm actually in the row over. We went to the Cheesecake Factory. We should go into Saks and buy some Louis Vuitton luggage. I wish. Actually, that's not probably the kind of luggage I would buy, would you?
Maybe.
I must buy a blue backpack. So I'm supposed to be, like, Alex is at home napping, and I'm getting ready to go home and nap because I'm supposed to, I have this thing I have to do tonight, but like I just in the last half hour got the worst headache, and like my stomach is totally cramping, and I like rarely ever get sick. Like I have like the immune system of a horse. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I never get sick, and neither one of my parents ever get sick either. Or my mom, like my mom didn't. My mom was never in her life sick until she got the disease that killed her. And my dad is just like never sick. I mean, I can't think of like ever that my dad's been sick and like called into work. And in fact, when I was in high school, if I wanted to call in sick to work, I need to ask my mom, not my dad, because my dad would be like, who do I call in sick to when I have to do surgery? So, but like my stomach is like clenching and it hurts so bad. And I'm drinking this coffee, which is probably not helping it, but I really just need to lay down. So I texted these people and was like, I'm not going to make it tonight. I know that they're not going to be happy with me, but sometimes you just have to take care of yourself. And I'm getting ready to run into Barnes & Noble real quick, because that's where I've wanted to go all day long to get this book. Alex and I at lunch today made all of our Valentine's Day plans, making our Valentine's Day plans. And I'll leave it a little bit of a secret so you guys can watch it, and then you will be like, oh, so that's what. But we're gonna recreate our first date. I think that's a cute idea. And as much as we can. And then we're not like super huge on Valentine's Day presents, especially since we're going on a very expensive trip to Miami. So I don't know what I'm gonna get him, but like he doesn't like candy and he doesn't like flowers, and so I'll get him something that I think that he will enjoy. Maybe like a bottle of cologne. I love cologne for men. I love picking out cologne for men. I have like 5 staple colognes that I love. Like, okay, so on an expensive level, I like Tom Ford. I like that. What's it called? The tobacco one, tobacco something. I love that one. And then I love the Creed, Oud, and Aventura. Okay, but both of those. And then also I love Bond. Is it Bond number 4? Bleecker Street, but just Bleecker Street. I don't like any of the other Bonds. I just like Bleecker Street. But all of those bottles are like $280 to $300. So I'm like, I never wear those. And then I love Chanel Blue. And what's interesting is like colognes that like I get compliments on, and colognes I never get compliments on. So like I love Chanel Blue, and I get a lot of compliments on that. I love Michael Kors for Men, the original. I've worn it for, I mean, since I was probably 17 years old. My mom bought it for me. And I always get compliments on that. People always wonder what it is. And then I love Burberry, the one that has like the Burberry striping on it or plaid on it, but like that's Alex's, and I never get any compliments on it. And I love Prada Black, but I never get any compliments on it either, and it's really, really strong. It's really expensive too. Like, it's almost $200 a bottle for like 3.8 ounces. And then, let's see, I love cologne so much. What else do I have in? I have that Chanel Egoiste that I asked for Alex because it reminded me of like back in the day, but I don't really care for it. It's like too clean. I like woodsy smells. I don't like clean smells. I'm going in here to try to find this E. Lockhart book called Dramarama or something. And she wrote We Were Liars, which was supposedly like one of the best books of last year. And I thought it was like one of the worst books of last year. I may have read it like in 2015 and maybe it came out. I don't know, you can't even hardly see me. But anyway, and then what other colognes do I love? In case you're looking for colognes for your men. What's like a cheaper cologne that I really like? I mean, if your guys don't wear a lot of cologne, like, I mean, you can get them a smaller bottle and they just won't, like, you know, go through it that fast. But it's interesting, like, what things smell good on other people. Like, my brother-in-law had this Nautica on and it smelled so good on him, but, like, on me it would smell like shit. And then I have this client that wears Angel for men, and, like, I bought it and it smelled like nobody. Like, people would tell me they didn't like it on me, and it was very expensive. And then I got Spice Bomb because one of my clients wore it, and I asked him what it was. And, you know what I just remembered was like Lanvin back in the day. I love that Lanvin. But anyway, I got this Spice Bomb and I hated it on me, and I literally got so many compliments. People would say things to me about it all the time, so I'll be back. You're probably like, you're exactly where we just left you. Well, I am. But I just left Barnes & Noble. I love bookstores so much. I love bookstores and libraries. The quality of this video is like, listen, you're just gonna have to listen. It's an ASMR video. But anyway, so I don't know if you know this, but there's an app called Goodreads, and Goodreads is all about reading. And one of the things that you can do on there is, like, if you're at the bookstore, you can scan the barcode on the book, and then you can add it to like on your want to read list. And that way you don't have to write down books you want to read. You just have like all the books on this app that you want to read. Well, I just added like 10 books on there because I was actually looking for this E. Lockhart book, but Sean David Hutchinson, who is another gay writer, who wrote We Are the Ants, that last year was probably one of my top 3 books of all last year. It was fantastic. Just has a brand new book out that came out this week, and I literally looked on Goodreads and it only has like 80 reviews on it. And I listened to it on Audible before, and before paying $18 at Barnes & Noble, because Barnes & Noble is so expensive. I mean, their bookstore is gorgeous, but it's just so expensive. Before paying that, I was like, I can get like that on Audible for like half the price. So I'm thinking about just listening to it on Audible. The last 2 days have been so much about books. You guys are probably like, we are so tired of hearing about books. But anyway, do you guys read? If you do, follow me on Goodreads. It's listed below. Or you can just put in their search, Peter Monn. I love Goodreads so much. And I love reading other people's reviews, and so anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but the reality is this. I went in there, and then I found this book by, I never can pronounce this guy's name, Paola Cola. He's the guy that wrote, I can't remember the name of the book, but anyway, he's so famous, and I can't pronounce his name. I sound so ignorant right now. But he just has a brand new book out. He wrote The Alchemist, but he has a brand new book out called The Spy, about Mata Hari. And it looks really good about her arrest, and it's like the last letter that she ever wrote in her own voice, but it's fictional. So I'm like really wanting to read this book. And then like I found like 6 new YA books that I want to read. And then Ellen Hopkins, who is like hands down one of my all-time favorite authors, and she has been so nice to me as far as writing and stuff. And then we interviewed her for our website. She has a brand new book out too. And it's like, oh my God, these authors are putting out books and I can't even finish mine. Authors that are very successful are authors that put out 1 to 2 books a year, really. And it's very realistic to do if you think about it. I mean, I wrote my book in 4 weeks. I could easily, if I took my time, write a book in 2 months, edit it for 2 months, and that's, 4 months for a book. And then 6 months to, and then if you got in the regimen of doing that, you could put out a book every 6 months if your publisher was willing to do that, which my publisher probably would if we got into the routine of doing that. So anyway, do you guys love just like, and I am like, I used to be back in the day, like if I went into a store, I had to buy something. which is how I incurred so much credit card debt. But like, I'm not like that anymore. Like, Tanya always laughs. She's like, you can walk through Meijer and Walmart and never buy one thing. And I'm like, well, I don't need a lot. Like, I don't really need things. I don't just buy things I don't need anymore. Like, that's like a lesson that I've really learned in the last couple years. Like, I would go into Target, and I still do this from time to time because Target's really hard for me because I feel like everything looks so pretty in Target. It's the truth. But like, you know, I would go in there for deodorant and come out $100 poorer. I try not to do that anymore. I try to just like go in there for what I need and come out. I don't know, do you guys do that, or do you guys like spend so much money in the stores? It's hard, isn't it? First world problems, that's what these are. Anyway. See you on the downside. Well, hello. Are you getting used to seeing my late night vlogs? What is this? Shrugging my shoulders. It's because I like slept last night. I said I was sick. Do you remember that? I came home. Alex literally went to bed last night at like 5 o'clock and slept and slept and slept. And like, so I uploaded my videos, and then I like laid down, and he was like, what's wrong? I was like, I'm really sick. Like, my stomach is hurting. I feel fine now. I feel a lot better. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I ate something bad or whatever, but like I said, I don't get sick for very long. But I laid down at like 7, and I woke up at like 11, and I was like wide awake, and I was like, are you getting up? Like, do you want to watch a movie or something? And he was like, I think I'm just gonna sleep through the night. I was like, all right. He was so tired, so exhausted. Every like once a month or like once every 2 months, he'll do that, like where he'll sleep like for 15 or 16 hours. Like, I do not understand that. Like, I can take naps every day. I love my naps, but I couldn't sleep for 15 hours straight. I just couldn't. But of course, I had to get up and take the dogs out because the dogs were going crazy, because 4 hours for little puppy dogs is a long time. So I like woke up, and I was like laying there, and Boo Radley was like, he like cries, and I'm like, what is it, Boo? And then he would like run to the edge of the bed and then come back and go, I was like, okay, I'll take you guys outside. And they all went crazy. It's so funny because I take them outside, like if it's late, like after 10 or 11, I take them out like in front of the house, and they like just go crazy and run all around like they own the street or something. PP truly does think he's the prince of the neighborhood. True story. Hashtag true story. PP, the prince of the neighborhood. Do you think like I always like wonder stuff about dogs. Like I know, like, when we get in the car, it's really weird. Like, when I pick him up from the kennel, which I call the hotel, like, although I think when we go to Florida, we're going to have our brother-in-law house sit for us, he and his girlfriend, but, like, PP knows, like, when we're back on the street, like, he like, looks out the window. I'll, like, take him for a car ride, and I'll film it, because it's cute, but, like, I'll be like, PP, we're almost home, and he, like, goes crazy, and, as soon as I hit the opener for like the gate in our neighborhood, like he loses his mind. Boo and Tucker not so much. They just sit in the back and they just like cry in the car. They don't love the car rides. Tucker just sits down. I mean, he is the easiest dog in the entire world. He literally just sits down back there and he's just like, here I am. I guess I'm for a ride. He totally was meant to be royalty. But do you ever like wonder like what dogs think? Like when I take them out in the neighborhood, like do they think like this is just the world? Like it doesn't go any faster, any farther than this? Like this is just the world? Because sometimes like when I will take them for a walk, which I haven't in forever, the last 5 years, I'm always like, okay, baby, I'm gonna start taking you for walks in the spring and stuff, but I never do. I'm like such a bad dad when it comes to taking the dogs for walks. It's hard to walk 3 dogs at the same time. And like he gets real nervous if he gets like a certain distance away. Like he doesn't know where he's at, and I don't think he likes it. And then I also wonder if like dogs have a concept of time. You know, like if you've been gone like an hour or 20 minutes versus like 6 hours, like does he have any concept of that? Have you ever read The Art of Racing in the Rain? Oh my God, such a phenomenal book, but it was a tragic book, but it was so beautiful. It's all told from a dog's point of view. It is hands down one of the most fantastic books I've ever read in my entire life. If you're an animal lover or a dog lover specifically, go read The Art of Racing in the Rain. It was like so incredible. But it's so funny because like in the book, the dog totally knows like everything a human would. Like even like watching TV and stuff, he totally knows like what TV shows are. And I sometimes think about that with Pee-Pee. Like when we're like sitting there watching TV, I don't know if Pee-Pee just like sees like Boo and Tucker, not so much, but like Pee-Pee, like I don't know if like the moving on the screen is like what like gets him, or if he just like, but he'll sit there and he'll like, he's watching it. It's the cutest thing in the entire world. Like Boo Radley, if I like hold him up in the mirror, he gets like, he turns away, like he doesn't like it. He doesn't understand that he and the mirror like are not two different dogs. That dog is so simple, that's why I love him so much. Wouldn't hurt a fly, Boo Radley, I love him. What's so funny is that, okay, so I don't show you guys this, I don't know why, but like, okay, so in our basement, like right before you get to, like, you go down the stairs, right? And then at the bottom of the stairs, there's like this like entryway area until you like you open a door and go into our basement, which we have like a full basement in our condo. And so we keep their crate there, and which we call their house. So if you ever seen a video where we like go get in your house or whatever, they like run there like instantly. They are so well trained, but it's so funny because like I learned somewhere about crate training dogs. So like Pee-Pee typically sleeps with us every night. Boo and Tucker only sleep with us like on the weekends when Alex doesn't have to get up for work, because Tucker just walks around the bed like all hours and it drives Alex crazy. Although they're sleeping with us tonight, so they were sleeping with us when I left. But Alex knows how much I love it, so sometimes he'll just let the dog sleep in bed with us because I love it so much. But anyway, what's so funny is like I had learned, like, I read all these books on how to crate train a dog because my last dog was just not crate trained and he was aggressive and vicious. And so I wanted to do it right when we got these dogs. And in fact, I asked my friend Tanya, I said, like, what is the most docile breed? And she was like, anything with a Maltese, if you mix a Maltese into it. And so like Boo and Tucker are Papillon, half Maltese. And actually Boo looks more Papillon and Tucker looks more Maltese. Boo looks more like his mom because we actually got them from the breeder. And that's a whole other story. I'll tell it sometime because it's so cute. But anyway, I can tell it right now. I guess. What am I doing? Driving. But when we went to go get them, Alex found them, and they actually were from the town that my ex was from, which was really strange, in Indiana. And so he knew that I wanted another dog because I had put my dog to sleep. And I was just devastated. And I loved Pee-Pee, but like Pee-Pee was at that point really more Alex's dog than mine because we'd only been together for like a year. We had been together for, yeah, a year, coming up on a year. And so Alex found these dogs. Now Pee-Pee's like my dog. Like, do you not see that? Because I'm there with him all the time. So anyway, but Alex found these dogs, and so we had to go look at them that day because the woman was like, if you don't come down here this day, like, I'm probably going to get rid of them to somebody else. And like I had brought, like, I did not know how much, I think she had them listed for $500 a dog, but she said there was only one left. And when we got down there was two of them, Boo and Tucker. I told this story before because I showed the picture on the thing. But anyway, and so she was like, I'll tell you, I cannot, she was like, this one, who is Boo, she was like, there's something off about him, there's something wrong, which we have since found out through the vet, that he's like developmentally disabled for a dog. So like he doesn't know his name really typically, and like he doesn't know how to play with toys. And so anyway, I mean, he really doesn't know how to play with toys, and like he eats very strange, like one piece of food he takes it to the other. It's cute, but like it's very sweet. But anyway, so she was like, his brother, who's Tucker, watches out for him to make sure that he's okay. And we're talking like 6 weeks into them being born, okay? How like That is so awesome. So she's like, if I'm gonna give one of them away, you have to take both of them. We looked down and Alex was like, he's mine. I was like, no, he's mine. And we were both talking about different dogs. Boo was mine and Tucker was Alex's, and we like named them immediately. And they like slept on the way home with their heads wrapped like that. Anyway, so and they still do that every once in a while. They like sleep with, like, Boo licks Tucker like all the time. And I looked it up, and at first it was like it said that if a dog is sick, sometimes they do that. And the other reason is that like if they're trying to show affection, and Boo does it to, he licks me, he licks Tucker, he licks Pee-Pee, he licks everything. So anyway. But what's interesting is that when we started crate training them, I wanted to crate train them correctly. And so I just had this weird thought. I was like, you drive around and turn on a camera and just talk out loud. Like, to who? Who is listening to these vlogs? Y'all are crazy if you're listening to these vlogs. I mean, I absolutely love doing it. It makes me feel not so alone in life, other than my husband and my best Judy Tanya, who I was with earlier tonight. And I said, can I film? She was like, no, I'm not really in the mood. And Alex wasn't really in the mood today. It was like nobody was in the mood to be in my vlog. How about an exciting vlog? These YouTubers that have all these people in their vlogs must have them sign consents or something, because nobody wants to be in my vlog. But anyway, this is why it's always every night just me driving around. So I read all these books on how to like crate train. I didn't read all these books. I read like a book on how to crate train a dog effectively. And it said just leave the crate open. Like when they're not even in it, leave the crate open. And what is so weird is that like Boo just started going in there by himself. And so like he will legit, like if we're upstairs watching TV, Boo will sit in the crate for hours by himself. And I asked the vet, I was like, is that like, should we go get him? And he was like, no, he likes it down there. He feels safe in his, you know, we call it his house. He feels safe in his house. But what's so funny is that like sometimes when I come in the door, like Pee-Pee and Tucker will come running and they'll be like, right? And then like down in the house, his house, just sitting there, I can just imagine him just like sitting there like this. I hear, like he's not gonna come up and see me, but he just wants somebody to know that he's down there. It's the cutest thing in the whole world. I love it. Dogs are so great. I love dogs. And somebody said something to me because in my video yesterday I said I don't like cats. Okay, like I'm definitely allergic to cats, and so is Alex. Like Alex, true story, has to take Benadryl if we go to somebody's house that has cats. Like his mother. His mother has 2 cats. So he has to take Benadryl. Now I'm not that allergic to it, but like if I start touching them and stuff, I like start losing my shit and I get a bad headache and I start sneezing. What's really weird though is I don't know how psychosomatic it is, because years ago I would go over to this girl's house I was friends with. I never knew forever that she had a cat, and then one day this cat just like walked through the living room. I was like, how long have you had a cat? She was like, I've had that cat forever. And I was like, the whole time I've known you've had that cat? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then all of a sudden I started sneezing and my eyes watered. And I was like, that's really weird that didn't start happening until I knew that there was a cat in the room. You know what I mean? Like, that's got to be totally psychosomatic. So, anyway. I love my animals so much. Tucker is probably pissed at me. So we have these lamb chop things that we get that Tucker loves. He's like really the only one that plays with toys. Like Pee-Pee is good for a bone, and Boo Radley doesn't know what to do with any of it. But Tucker's like the only one that plays with like plush toys, and we have so many. And he goes, and we have this chair in the bedroom, and he goes and gets one, and then takes it to the bed, and then goes and gets another one. It's so funny. But he like wants to get the squeaker out of the middle of it, right? And he bites and bites and bites, and if you like, I'll have to like record it sometime. But he's like, it's so funny seeing him because he's this total fluff ball. But like, first he kills the squeaker in it. I'm like, this is totally like what he would do to like a live animal. So first he kills the squeaker in it, but then he wants the squeaker out of the plastic part out of it, and I'm afraid that he'll swallow it. So I always try to get the squeaker out before he does. So tonight he was like, why am I not showing this on video? This is what I should be showing, right? But like Alex was there and he was asleep, so I can't show that. But so Tucker is like, he would not let me have this lamb chop, which I either call Lammykins or Lady, because she's got little red lips, like lipstick, and I go, Lady, Tucker, there's your lady friend. That's what I always say. I'm like, hey, Tucker, where's your lady? So we call her Lady. But anyway, I'm crazy. He wouldn't let me have it, so finally I just pulled it out of his mouth, and then I cut it open just a little bit, and I pulled out the squeaker because I don't want him to swallow it and die. Poor little guy. Be horrible. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now. End it, make it a little bit shorter than usual. Yesterday was an hour. Oh my Lord, an hour. Can you even imagine? All right, talk to you later. Love you. Remember, make the most of your life. We're on borrowed time as it is.